Hey, it's MK, and I am here with a mixed media mayhem recipe for you guys today, and I am also combining this recipe with a wood grain and winter layout. So for my recipe, I have a stencil, which was day 4 from the Advent Calendar stencil. I just can't put this away, I'm sorry. I also am using one of the 31 days of cut files that I think I missed because this was in my didn't get to pile of layouts that I've done. And so yeah, this was from August. I've also got some grit paste as well as some gold gesso from the Crafter's Workshop. I also have my splatter that is the gilt in Dina Wakley. I have one photo which is of my dad checking out the railroad tracks and the compound where the museum is. So it's from Ely, Nevada in December of 2021, I think is where it was. So for my frames, I picked out, or for my film strips, I picked out both kinds. This was from the Christmas Spectacular by 49 and Market film strip set, or film strip acetate set. And I didn't know which ones I wanted to use based off of my cut file, so I pulled out both kinds, but I only plan on using one set. I also have a couple strips from the laser cut pieces from the same collection, and these frames. I think I'm going to switch from the 2 set of frames to the single set because I only have the one picture. I have just this about a little bit of cording from the cluster set from the Christmas Spectacular by 49 and Market, and then a couple more of the laser cut pieces, and then this is my wood grain that's going to actually be my background. So it came from a paper pad, but I'm not sure which paper pad because I usually deconstruct my paper pads. What I do, because they come with so many papers, is I take out the papers, like I split them up and share the pad because that's just way too many papers for me to use all by myself. So I take out one sheet at least of each paper. Sometimes I take out 2 because you either get 3 or 4. So that depends. If you get 4, I take out 2. If you get 3, I only take out 1. And then I usually end up putting my pads on a give-take table so that way anybody else that wants to share the same pad, they have that opportunity. So I'm going to start with covering up my cut file with this grit paste. Now at first I thought I was going to use my finger like I usually do with Nuvo, but this stuff was super thick. Yeah, super thick. So I thought, nope, I'm going to just go ahead and use my spatula that I pulled out for the stencil and cover this entire thing with grit paste. Now my first thought for this cut file was that I was going to make it black. And that is what my initial process was. But I thought, oh, I could add this paste to it to give it a little bit of grungy texture. Not a big deal, right? So that is what my first layer is going to be for this cut file was the grit paste. Then I'm going to take this gesso, not realizing how juicy it is, and I'm just going to very lightly rub it through my stencil, but it kind of turns into a hot mess. It looks like a bunch of blobs, but I'm going to go with it anyways because I'm okay with the fact that that's what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and do the stenciling with the gold glitter paste and then do the splattering with the gilt spray, and those were, I think I've covered all of my mixed media mayhem recipes. Oh, good for me, all in the first few seconds of the video. That's awesome. Normally I forget at least one throughout the whole video. So I really wanted kind of to do like a rub and buff on this grit paste, but I wanted it to be black with a hint of gold. Like I wanted it to look like rusty gears. So like the gears were a brass color or a gold color, and then they tarnished over time and turned into like a dingy black, right? That was my go-to at first because we are in a yard where the train tracks rust, right? Or they oxidize, I should say, because they're constantly under weather and whatnot. Have you ever seen where they actually change out those tracks? It's actually kind of cool. We caught it one time over at Palisades in Nevada. So, well, of course it's in Nevada. But yes, we actually got to see them do that because we were out looking for the old Palisade mine. It's an abandoned mine, that was really cool. It was back in, I don't know what time, I'll have to go look it up, to where everybody lived in the side of the hill. So their houses were actually in the dirt, and it was so cool. And all you saw was the framework for these huts or for these domiciles that you could go and walk into and whatnot. We never actually found the mine, where they actually mined. We just found the camp. But on the other side of the camp was the railroad, which is how the miners got their supplies, and they were retracking the train tracks. So we thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, it was fascinating. It was fabulous that we got to see the process. Well, just a little bit. We didn't stay for too long, and it is a very slow process. So anyways, I went ahead and was going to take some Nuvo drops and do the finger dabbing thing to cover up my cut file. I did not like how much gold was showing. That's just too much gold. I felt like it was going to blend too much into my background. So I took it to my spray box and went ahead and sprayed my cut file. And I had to heat set it, and heat setting it actually activated the grit paste. So now it's a very chunky, I don't know, like it almost bubbled in a way, and I really liked it because now my gears definitely have that I'm old feel to them or look to them, right? Because the dirt buildup and whatnot in one spot. So I really, really liked that. I also had this wreath that I pulled out of my laser cuts pieces from the Christmas Spectacular collection. It fit perfectly on my little cut file. It was not planned at all. In fact, actually, I think I had this page kit put together without the cut file, and then because it was a railroad type of thing, I added the cut file because I didn't get to this one last year during December. I think I had to miss a day, or I planned one too many. I don't remember what my excuse was. I'm sure it was a bad one, but I definitely feel like I added the cut file later because it was a 31 days of this year. So I know that it happened. All right. So I went ahead and I wanted to continue with the film strips all behind my cut file. Since I've got a little bit of film strip with my cut file, I wanted to continue more of the film strip feel throughout the rest of the layout. So I decided to cut some of the film strips so that way they were long like my cut file is, and then pan them behind the layout. So anyways, did that, and then I'm bringing back some more ornaments. I just really liked the wreath idea, and then I thought, well, with the wreath kind of comes decorations, right? I need to decorate the wreath, make it look all pretty. I know I've already done a layout with ornaments like this and the whole string-a-thingies and all that good stuff, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it again, but it's going to look a little different because I'm interacting it with several pieces of the background, right? And then I've got this horizontal bit that I want to put. Now these were just meant to be tiny little layers on the pre-planned pages that come in the Ultimate Page Kit from 49 and Market. And so I thought, well, this is absolutely perfect because I can just go ahead and create an L shape with my design. Again, not having a clue what I'm actually doing, you guys. It all just usually falls together by accident, if I'm being honest. I never ever have a plan of how anything is going to go together. When I put these page kits together, I don't know what it's going to look like. Sometimes I have a plan, sometimes I don't. I just wing it and just keep going, honestly. So anyways, I decided, because I had a couple of requests, to show the fork technique making bows. So I went ahead and I slowed the video down. This is in real time. So what you want to do is you want to take a fork. I happen to use, a long tined fork. I don't like the little salad forks because the prongs aren't long enough. And I use the backside of my fork. For one, the prongs kind of bend upward if you use the front side, and I don't know, they just get in the way. So I'm going to actually use a double bow for this. So I want 2 wraps around the fork. I start with my twine on the left side. I wrap it using my other, like my loose end on the right side. And then I wrap it twice. I put see, I missed everything. I tried to go as slow as possible, you guys. But you wrap it twice and then stick the twine in between the middle prongs, right? Then you want to wrap around your wrap that you went around horizontally. You want to wrap around it vertically, come back up through the center prongs. And then before you go back down, you'll want to make a hoop. I know, this is the hard part right here, is how to explain the hoop part. But you'll want to make a loop for your string to go, and it goes under it and then over it to make the little knot, right? And it's just, I don't know. I'm not sure. It's something I'll have to show you guys in person, in all honesty, because that little knot part is what really is the hardest part out of all of it. So I went ahead and I left all of this in so you guys can see me do it a couple times. I just keep pulling on the right side to get my tail to be a little longer, a little shorter. You can adjust it as you want. Before you tighten up that knot, you can even pull it back to the left and make the tail even smaller if you want. And then, of course, this glue is fabulous. It's the Nuvo Deluxe Adhesive Glue. And it's an instant stick almost to thread. I absolutely love it. I use it on the back side of my layouts to hold the thread. So like all of my thread is going off the top of the page. I'll flip my page over and glue them all on the back side once I am completely done with this layout. But it's so fun. It really is. I love having hanging ornaments on my page. I really, really do. So it's just, I don't know. I wish I could do this on all of my ornaments, but I love, or all on all my pages, but I think they'll start looking the same. But I do love the fact that they interact with the design, with that cut file. It really took a cut file that was not meant to be Christmas and turned it Christmassy, right? Especially when we are at the train yard in December. I think it was December 19th. It might have been the 20th. I'm not really sure. It was really close to Christmas because after Christmas they stop doing, obviously, they stop doing the North Pole train. And so then they start doing they do other train rides throughout the whole year as well. They really do. Sometimes they're not all night rides. Sometimes they're more during the day rides, which, I don't know, kind of takes out the illusion, if you ask me, but it's still fun. If you're a train enthusiast, I definitely recommend looking for some sort of steam train ride. Ours was not steam this year. They rotate between the years, whether it's a steam or a diesel engine, and then sometimes all of the steams are being worked on and whatnot, and so they have to do a diesel engine 2 years in a row. So this happened to be one of the years where it was actually the year of a diesel engine because 81 was still up and running, but 90 and 40 or 93 and 40 were out of commission for repairs. So anyways, I added a little bit of holly just to fill in some gaps and give it a little bit of greenery. I put a little bit of holly on top of some of the ornaments. My sticker sheet that I did not share with you guys what I was using, but I think it was a Vicky Bouton sticker sheet that was all about Christmas time. And she had ornaments on there, and it was absolutely perfect. So I went ahead and I added those ornaments as well. And then I just did love this family time. So I thought that was pretty cute. Perfect for this, where I didn't have to have some sort of Christmassy type of title, but it is family time, even though it's just a picture of my dad, right? So anyways, that is my layout for today. I'm super excited to actually get all of my mixed media recipe all within the first couple of minutes. Like I said, normally I totally miss at least one. And I don't remember it until the very end because I have to double check to make sure that I got everything. All right, you guys, again, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it. Don't forget to check out the playlists. I have 2 down below, one for Mixed Media Mayhem and everyone that is playing along with us, and one for Woodgrain and Winter. So don't forget to check those out. And I will see you guys all later. Bye.